Hi, after my video yesterday of how to generate business ideas, some people requested to share how to validate business ideas they already have. So I got some questions from people like, I already have an idea, but I don't know if my idea will really work. So today I'm going to share with you how to validate your business idea. And I'm going to do this in form of a table, and that's why you can see I've already drawn my table. So on my table, I've written 1, 2, 3 to show that I have 3 different ideas or experiments that I need to make. So basically, we need to make some assumptions. And the first assumption that we have to make is an assumption on the customer. Who is your customer? For each particular idea, you have to make some assumption on who your customer will be. So basically, the characteristic of your target customer. So it could be a young person or youth in general, women. So just try to think of characteristics of your customer. So this will all be dependent on the problem. If you can recall from my video yesterday, I insisted on the problem. Your problem or the problem is your why. That is the reason as to why you exist. So even when you're thinking of your target customer, you also have to think of the problem. The next assumption that you have to make is the problem. Yeah? And you have to phrase this problem from the customer's perspective. You have to phrase it from the customer's perspective. So the third thing that you have to make an assumption is the solution. But please do not think of the solution before thinking through the problem and the customer. You only define the solution. You only write your solution idea after you have thought of a problem that is worth solving. So you have thought about the characteristics of your customer, you have thought about what problem they have, and then you can now think of what solution would help them solve the problem that they have. Don't forget, you also have to think of the riskiest assumptions. You need to make some riskiest assumptions. Things are not going to go your way all the time. Things are not going to be as what you think. So you also have to think of the other side. What if this customer doesn't have this problem? So what are some of the assumptions? So you also need to think it from the customer's perspective, or you also need to try and create some sentences that are holding true to the assumptions, or they're not holding true to the assumptions. Something like, in order for this assumption to be true, this particular assumption also needs to be true. So I don't know if you're getting me there. In order for this particular assumption to be true, then something else dependent on that first assumption also needs to be true. So if it's not true, then there is a risk of that idea not getting implemented. Yeah? So you need to think of all this. And lastly, before you get out of the building, you need to think of methods and success criteria for you to be able to do this experiment. So you are not going to do experiment in your boardroom or in your house. You need to get out of the building, get out and talk to people. Or if you have developed a minimum viable product, it could be a very simple product, a prototype that you want to test out with some small market segment. You can do that, get out and test it so that you get the real result from people, from your target customer. So once you have gone out of the building, gone out of building to test your assumptions, then you'll then come and write down the results that you have gotten from the exercise that you did of validating your business. So you'll know what the market has responded for each of this idea, and then you also will need to make some decisions. Don't forget that you can be able to interchange. Let's say one problem that you thought would work for idea number one, you try to change it with some assumptions in idea two for you to be able to see what idea works, what idea doesn't work. Yeah, you also need to think of for me to be able to make a decision, I need to run this experiment with a number of target customers. So you define the number of your target customers, and then last but not least, you also need to document your learning. What have you learned from the exercise? It is very important to document so that when you get back to the drawing board, you can apply the lessons learned and you can think of a better idea which has a higher chance of success in your target market. So I hope this particular session has opened your eyes on how you can validate your business idea. It is somehow technical, and we normally handle this particular exercise during our entrepreneurship training. So if you're an entrepreneur, you need some training, hit my inbox, comment on this particular video, and I'll show you where you can access more training on how to develop your business idea, on how to start your business, and how to grow your business. See you next time. Thank you.